to a much broader audience. You personally will be recognized much more everywhere you go. That's really what I'm asking. How do you feel about crossing that threshold into sort of fame?
I mean,
you ready for it?
Well, I mean, Sophie and I, we're basically, all we do is work. We don't really have lives outside of what we do.
John and Kate may have said that too. Look where they are.
But I mean, we really do. We just love what we do, and we just spend all of our time and energy doing that. You know, we're not really.
Yeah. But it's true. I mean, you don't see us.
It's going to be fun, but still, there is that. You know, you talk to people who've done reality TV, and they say there's that moment when they realize that people they will never meet are watching their day-to-day goings on.
No, it's true, and I think Katherine and I thought about it, and I think the people we're working with on this project is just a phenomenal group of people, and I think it's going to be really exciting and fun and lighthearted to watch.
Yeah.
And I think the pros vastly outweigh any cons associated with what people kind of see as the dark side of reality television. I think this show is going to be different in a lot of ways.
You're going to be the bright side of reality TV. Now, go back to when Walter Nichols came into your shop. What if this had that same effect at a higher level?
I mean, I think now we're probably better prepared to deal with that volume. And we have so many people who help and work with us on a daily basis. And certainly we couldn't even do the volume we're doing now without that number of staff.
The Housewives franchise is seen globally. Will this show be seen internationally?
I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know, but
we're
excited.
Check the fine print.
Yeah.
When you look at what you've achieved so far now, do you where do you think that? How do you think that you divide it among yourselves, and how do you divide it among yourselves as you expand to something larger?
It's interesting because people ask us all the time, well, is one of you going to be in Bethesda, one of you going to be in Georgetown? But we're kind of glued together all the time. Like, we do everything together.
But you're not necessarily going to be able to always do that, You cloning yourselves? Or?
I mean, we do. We go to Georgetown in the morning, then we go to Bethesda in the afternoon, then we come back to Georgetown.
And then we go back to Bethesda to close out the evening. And it's just how it is. And I think, a lot of, my husband's like, well, it would be more efficient if one of you went there and there. But that's just how we do it. And it's how we did it in the beginning. We did everything together. And I think for us, it's more important to make sure everything is, running smoothly and perfectly, and our product is the same as it is in Georgetown. And I think, if it takes both of us being there at one time, then we have to do it that way, because that's the most important thing, that we don't.
How do you come up with the recipes? Especially for your flavor of the month, which is always something.
We do a lot of R&D at my place. Sophie comes over, and we used to do this on Mondays when we were closed, and we're not going to be able to do that anymore. And we would just, experiment.
I mean, where does it begin?
Well, we get a lot of requests from our customers too. So when we started, we didn't do
What's weird?
Well, in the beginning, we didn't have a carrot cake, and everyone's like, you have to do a carrot cake.
Well, that's kind of expected.
Yeah. And then what else do we do that?
Does anybody,
what did they ask? I mean, we get all kinds of wild requests.
People have asked for.
We do sometimes special cupcakes. We have people who come in and they're like, well, can I have a couple of toasted hazelnuts on top of my coconut? And to the extent we can, we try to accommodate those kinds of special requests from people.
What's been the most outrageous one you've created that there was no way you could actually, you woke up the next morning and you thought that was a little off the hook?
Oh, in terms of a cupcake for a customer?
Or just cupcakes that we've come up with?
Yeah, when you're doing
we're like,
R&D.
this isn't a great idea.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's a
lot. I'm trying to think of something really.
There was a pistachio mango, or I can't remember.
It wasn't good. I told Katherine it's not going to work.
But that's the thing about cupcakes, is that simplicity is always best.
Yeah. So we don't want to make overly complex flavors. I think, simple really is best. And for us, the most important thing is to use the very best ingredients possible, because that in baking, determines the product.
And do you find these ingredients easy to get? I mean, can you get them at Safeway?
No. Some of them, no. Some of them, like our cocoa, you cannot get it at Safeway. You could get it if you were to bake it at home at,
Dean and DeLuca or
sur la table.
So a home baker could actually do what you do.
And, we use Madagascar bourbon vanilla and all the fruits, Flugra butter, and fresh fruits, fresh, bananas, chocolate banana.
So I think the key is really using fresh fruits. the best ingredients and baking them fresh every day. And that's one thing that a lot of businesses don't do, and we do, and I think that's what sets us apart.
What is your favorite?
Mine is chocolate hazelnut, without a doubt.
Mine, peanut butter fudge and pumpkin spice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It changes though. Hers has always been chocolate hazelnut, but mine changes every time a new seasonal comes out. I'm like, oh,
What did you bring here today that everybody's? I noticed you brought a variety.
We brought our holiday cupcakes, and so we have a gingerbread with a cinnamon
Don't get
cream
those too
cheese
close
frosting.
to me. I'll start eating on the air.
We did. I have I think that's a Rudolph red velvet there, Katherine.
Chocolate
Yep.
eggnog,
Chocolate eggnog.
peppermint, and a white chocolate peppermint.
That was a delicate move. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
The chocolate peppermint. Yeah.
and that's
Chocolate eggnog.
chocolate eggnog. This
White
is-
chocolate peppermint. We make our own white chocolate peppermint.
These
bar
are
in the
available
store.
every day now through
Yep.
the holidays.
To the end of December.
And this has-
Rudolph red velvet.
I don't know if you can see Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
And I think that there's some gingerbreads too
Yeah,
that came.
gingerbreads. What cupcake sells more than any other?
The red
Red
velvet.
The red velvet. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
How did it beat out
Well,
chocolate?
you know, interesting in Bethesda, actually coconut is very
Yes,
popular in Bethesda.
It is really interesting. Coconut is probably the best seller in Bethesda.
Coconut.
Yeah, and coconut doesn't like, it moves
People
a little
get
slower.
coconut in Georgetown, but not as much as they do red velvet.
Yeah.
So you get your coconut from special places though that
Yes,
you won't.
a secret place that only
secret
John knows.
places that only John knows.
We really actually scoured the whole area for like the best coconut, and that's true for all our ingredients because you can get chocolate.
John has
from
lots
everywhere.
of secrets. So you gotta watch him, right?
Yeah.
He could get co-opted.
Yeah.
Speaking of co-op, now who's going to be opening up here? Sprinkles, Crumbs.
Yeah.
I don't know. And who already exists? We have Baked and Wired. We have Hello Cupcake.
Yeah.
We have what are some of the?
There are like at least a dozen others.
Isn't there one
Yeah.
called Red Velvet?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think
here in
so.
Washington? I mean, these are just since you opened.
Yeah.
And is there a consortium? I mean, do you all have a cupcake union yet? where you
No,
all get together? Have you met the owners of these other
No.
cupcakeries?
No.
Do you feel kind of edgy with them? Like this
I
is
mean,
a fierce battle?
We don't. I don't really see them as our competition.
Have you tried their cupcakes?
No, I have not
No.
tried them.
Not in DC. We haven't.
You
tried
don't feel you
DC,
should
yeah.
to see what the competition?
No, I mean, we're not really worried about them.
There you go.
know, we really just want to focus on ourselves to make ourselves better.
Yeah, and what we're doing because you can't control who opens up other shops.
I
And
think
we
that
all- you know,
and I
we-
think that a lot of people who have started to open shops, they probably saw a line and they thought, hey, I can do this too, and they got the money together, opened it, but a lot of them have never baked before. They just hired bakers to make it.
Well, what would be your advice to people coming into Georgetown now with these cupcake chains? I mean, is it like, watch out, we'll meet you at noon?
Cupcake Showdown.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, and we get a lot of emails from women all over the country, especially after we did Martha, and said, they were saying we were inspired by your story. I've always dreamed of opening a bakery, and
We say go for it.
Go for it. If you have a dream,
and if you love it, if you're passionate about it, if you just want to do it to make a quick buck, it's never gonna work
You'll be
out.
disappointed,
You will
I
be
think.
disappointed. But if it's your passion and you love it, we always say do it. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Well, there must be something apart from all these beautiful accidents you had that is a real model of how to do it and make it work. I know quality is part of it.
Yeah.
You would have to admit your marketing has been great, your public relations. Did you have a very good public relations person from the beginning?
No, that's another funny story. The only advertising we ever did was we put a Kinko's poster in our window a week before we opened. And Sophie's husband was upset because it cost $50. He said that was
And
way
he
too
yelled
much
at me,
money
yeah.
for a poster. And that's all we did. And people, I guess they passed by on Potomac Street and they told other people, and we had this huge
Yeah.
line. But that was it.
Yeah, and I think maybe 6 months after we met a great guy who helped us launch. But we've had bad experiences and good experiences. But now we're working with a phenomenal group of women in New York who are helping us kind of spread
Spread
the
the word.
Georgetown Cupcake name more broadly. And I think at the right
There's
time.
a wonderful item in Town and
Yeah.
Country magazine in
Yeah.
January.
But it should come at the right time. I mean,
Yeah.
if we had done it from the beginning, it wouldn't have been right.
And I think, you're right. And I think the other important thing is finding the right people to work with you.